Everyone thought she would die in the wild. But a gorilla did something no one expected. Rain poured down like icy blades tearing through the darkness in the heart of the Congo Basin rainforest. Beneath the canopy of an ancient tree, Lily, a 10-year-old girl from a small town in England, huddled clutching her tattered backpack, her green eyes shimmering with fear. A flash of lightning lit up her pale face, and more terrifying the glowing yellow eyes of a jaguar lurking in the shadows. Its sleek black coat blended into the deep jungle, only its razor-sharp teeth glinting in the fleeting light like a death sentence. A lone, fragile child in the wild jungle, would Lily survive this night, or would the Congo forest swallow her forever? Lily trembled, her breath forming faint wisps in the cold air. Her family had come here for a wildlife conservation program, a burning dream of her father, a biologist who loved the forest more than his own home. But that dream had shattered when a sudden flash flood swept away all traces of the conservation team, separating Lily from her parents. Now she was left with only a torn raincoat, mud-caked shoes, and a tiny folding knife in her pocket, a useless weapon against the claws of the jungle's predators. Every sound in the forest, from the rustle of leaves to the chirping of insects, felt like a warning that she didn't belong here. She whispered a lullaby her mother used to sing, her voice trembling like a candle in a storm, trying to chase away the fear. But the low growl of the jaguar cut through her song, making her flinch and press deeper into the tree's roots. Its claws scraped lightly on the ground as if counting down her time. She knew she couldn't run, couldn't hide. Her small hands gripped the backpack which held a family photo, her last keepsake. Would that photo be all that remained of Lily after tonight? Or would this jungle erase every trace of her? She closed her eyes, trying to recall the smell of her mother's cookies, her father's laughter as he told stories of gentle gorillas. But those memories shattered as the jaguar crept closer, its hot breath steaming in the air. Lily opened her eyes, ready to face her fate, when another roar echoed, deep, powerful, shaking the entire forest. From the darkness, a massive figure emerged, a silverback gorilla, its eyes blazing like stars, standing between Lily and the jaguar. It stomped the ground, roaring, making the jaguar hesitate. But who was this creature? A savior or a new threat? As the jaguar slunk back into the shadows, Lily looked into the gorilla's eyes and saw a strange glint. Not aggression, but protection, like a silent guardian of the jungle. Weak and lost, the little girl felt a fragile spark of hope. Could this gorilla be the light to guide her through the Congo's darkness? Or was it just a fleeting moment before the jungle claimed her life? The story of Lily and the mysterious jungle guardian begins here in the heart of life and death, where an unexpected friendship could change everything. Deep in the Congo Basin rainforest, Lily, the 10-year-old girl from a small English town, stumbled through the muddy ground, her small feet trembling with cold and fear. The rain kept pouring, each drop soaking her despair deeper. Her tattered raincoat offered no protection, and the jaguar's piercing eyes still lingered somewhere in the darkness, like a ghost that never left. She clutched her backpack, holding a family photo, the only remnant of a world swept away by the flash flood. Behind her, the rustling leaves whispered of lurking dangers. A lost child in a jungle full of predators. Could Lily find safety, or would she become the forest's next prey? She tried to keep moving, but each step felt heavy, as if dragging the whole world. Her muddy shoes slipped on tree roots, making her fall, her hands scraping against rocks. She whispered her parents' names like a prayer, but only the howling wind answered. Suddenly, a terrifying roar shook the forest. Lily's heart pounded, thinking the jaguar had found her. But instead, a massive figure emerged from the rain, a silverback gorilla, huge as a small mountain, its blazing eyes locked on the approaching jaguar. With a fierce roar, it stomped the ground, making the jaguar falter and retreat into the darkness. Lily, trembling, stared at the enormous creature, unsure whether to fear or hope. The gorilla, which Lily named Titan for its mythic strength, didn't attack her. Instead, it slowly turned its deep eyes, looking at her as if conveying something. With a surprisingly gentle gesture, Titan reached out, touching her backpack as if sensing her fear. She stepped back, but Titan didn't advance. It turned, signaling her to follow. Should she trust this massive creature? Or was this just another trap in a jungle where everything could be an enemy? Despite her fear, Lily followed Titan, her small steps trailing its broad back. The rain kept falling, but Titan led her through hidden trails beneath the canopy, avoiding treacherous mud pits. Finally, they reached a dry cave concealed by thick vines. Titan gently nudged her inside, then gathered fruit from a nearby tree, placing it before her. Starving Lily hesitantly took a bite, the sweetness like a spark of hope. She looked at Titan now sitting at the cave's entrance, like a sentinel shielding her from the storm and dangers outside. To ease her fear, she began singing her mother's lullaby, her small voice echoing in the cave. Titan tilted its head as if listening, and in that moment a cautious bond began to form. She felt a strange connection, not between human and beast, but between two lost souls in the jungle's depths. But the Congo jungle was never peaceful. A distant hiss of a giant python startled Lily. Titan stood its fur bristling, ready to protect. Lily clutched her backpack, wondering if this safety was only temporary. Could Titan protect her from the jungle's endless threats? Or were they just delaying an inevitable end? The following days, Lily and Titan became an unlikely pair facing the jungle's challenges together. Titan guided her through streams, found fruit, and even shielded her from cold winds with its massive frame. One morning, as sunlight pierced the canopy, Lily noticed Titan limping, one leg moving slowly. She looked closely and saw a deep scar on its thigh, a bullet wound from long ago. Her heart ached at the thought of Titan's past pain. While searching the cave's leaves for more fruit, a small glinting object fell out, a tattered research tag bearing the logo of her father's conservation group. On it was a name, Titan. She froze. This gorilla wasn't a random savior. It had been rescued from poachers by her father and his colleagues when it was young. Their meeting wasn't chance, it was fate, an invisible thread connecting them through years and shared pain. Lily sat beside Titan, gently touching its scarred leg, feeling a bond deeper than words. She whispered, "Dad saved you, and now you're saving me." Titan looked at her, its eyes holding an untold story. But the Congo jungle never forgave. A bear's roar echoed from afar, signaling a new threat. Could this fragile friendship withstand the jungle's harsh trials? Or had fate brought them together only to face a cruel end? The story of Lily and Titan now truly began in a world where loyalty and courage were the only light in the darkness. In the dim cave deep in the Congo jungle, faint light from a crack in the rock barely illuminated Lily's pale face, the 10-year-old girl, huddled beside Titan, the silverback gorilla who had become her unexpected protector. The rain outside had stopped, but danger still lurked. A chilling hiss like a whisper of death made Lily jump. From the shadows, a massive python, its body gleaming like a ribbon of doom, slithered into the cave, its soulless eyes locked on the girl. Each coil tightened the air, as if the jungle itself were squeezing Lily's last breath. A fragile child and a gorilla, could they face this monster, or would the cave become their tomb? Lily clutched her backpack, her heart pounding as the python drew closer. Titan stood its fur bristling like an ancient warrior, its roar echoing in the cave. But Lily saw exhaustion in its every move. The old scar on its leg, a remnant of past battles, slowed it down. She whispered her father's name as if begging for a miracle, but only the python's hiss answered. Titan charged, using its immense strength to grapple the snake, but its coils began to tighten around Titan, turning its roars into pained groans. Though terrified, Lily knew she had to act. She searched the cave, grabbing a sharp rock, her hands shaking, but her eyes resolute. With a scream, she threw the rock at the python's head, distracting it. Titan seized the moment, wrenching free, and landing a powerful blow, forcing the python to retreat and slither out of the cave. Lily gasped for breath, rushing to Titan, now lying heavily on the cold stone floor. Blood oozed from new scratches on its body, mingling with the old scar. She knelt, placing a hand on Titan's fur, feeling its faint warmth. "Thank you, Titan," she whispered, her voice choked with tears. But the moment of peace shattered as a new roar echoed from outside, a ferocious bear drawn by the scent of blood. Its red eyes glinted through the vines like a declaration of war. Could Lily and Titan, both exhausted, face this new threat? Or would the Congo jungle never let them leave? Lily felt her heart tear apart. Titan had saved her so many times, but now it was weakening, and she couldn't bear the thought of losing her friend. Yet another pain tore at her, guilt over the violence. The rock she threw at the python, its pained hiss, it felt like an accusation that she was becoming part of the jungle's cruelty. But looking into Titan's deep eyes, she knew she couldn't give up. She found a broken branch, gripping it like a staff, and stood in front of Titan, her small hands trembling. As the bear advanced, she screamed, swinging the branch, making it pause for a moment. But she knew it was only temporary. The bear roared, its claws raised, ready to strike. Titan, though wounded, stood pushing Lily behind and facing the bear. The battle erupted, the roars of both beasts shaking the cave. Titan, with its last strength, held the bear at bay, but each blow felt like it tore at Lily's heart. She screamed, throwing rocks and branches, trying to help, but fear of losing Titan mixed with helplessness. "I don't want to hurt anyone anymore," she cried, but she knew if they didn't fight, they'd both die. Finally, Titan pushed the bear out of the cave but collapsed, its breathing shallow. Lily hugged Titan, tears falling on its thick fur, whispering apologies for dragging it into danger. She resolved to find a way out, not just for herself, but for Titan, the friend who had sacrificed everything to protect her. Lily wiped her tears, looking out of the cave where faint sunlight began piercing the canopy. She knew the bear could return, and Titan couldn't fight again. But in her heart, a fire ignited, a determination to get Titan to safety as it had saved her. She stroked Titan's face, whispering, "We will get home together." But the Congo jungle still waited with threats hiding in the shadows. Could the bond between the girl and the gorilla overcome the final challenge? Or would fate demand a steeper price for their survival? The story of Lily and Titan now entered its most perilous turn, where loyalty and hope were their only weapons. In the Congo jungle dawns, faint light filtered through the trees, falling on Lily, the 10-year-old girl with red-rimmed eyes from crying, kneeling beside Titan, the silverback gorilla now lying heavily on the cold ground. Titan's wounds from battles with the bear and python left it nearly spent, its thick fur matted with blood and mud. Small and exhausted, Lily hugged Titan's massive face, whispering, "Don't leave me, Titan." The jungle around them still prowled, the hum of insects, and distant roars reminding them their time was running out. A girl and an injured gorilla, could they escape the jungle's grip, or was this their final stop? Lily wiped her tears, scanning the cave that had become their temporary refuge. She recalled her father's words, "If you're lost in the jungle, find a river. It will lead you to people." With her last strength, she stood searching for long vines around the cave. She tied them around Titan's shoulders, fashioning a crude harness, determined to bring her giant friend along. Though weak, Titan struggled to its feet, its deep eyes looking at her as if to say, "I trust you." Despite her trembling legs and heavy heart, Lily led the way, her small steps pulling Titan's massive form through muddy trails. After hours battling through thickets and swamps, Lily heard the sound of rushing water, a river sparkling under the sun. She cried out, her voice weak but full of hope, "Titan, we found it." But Titan, barely able to move, collapsed by the riverbank, its breathing labored. Lily knelt beside it, tears falling, as she realized Titan might not survive until rescue. Holding its hand, she sang her mother's lullaby, her trembling voice rising through the jungle. Would her song reach the rescue team? Or would the jungle take her last friend before light arrived? Though faint, Lily's song carried through the trees. She sang not just to call for help, but to keep Titan with her. Suddenly, leaves rustled and flashlights flickered in the distance. A rescue team drawn by her faint voice rushed to the riverbank. They froze, stunned, to see a small girl beside a massive gorilla, both exhausted. The team quickly loaded Lily and Titan onto a boat, taking them to the nearest conservation station. Doctors tended to Titan, bandaging its wounds while Lily held its hand, whispering thanks. When Titan was released back to the jungle, it paused at the forest's edge, turning to look at Lily one last time, its gaze etching her image into its memory. Years later, Lily, now a wildlife researcher, returned to the Congo, standing in the jungle that nearly took her life. Mist swirled, and from the shadows, a silverback gorilla appeared, its scarred leg glinting in the sunlight. It looked at her, its deep eyes holding a whole story. Was it Titan, or just a vivid memory of the friend who saved her? Lily smiled, tears streaming down, knowing that whatever it was, their bond had changed her forever. But the Congo jungle still held its secrets, leaving one question: was Titan truly watching her? Or was it just the call of a heart that would never forget?